Hi, this is Bobby Cobb with the Adams Center, and I'm here with another speaker preview. Today, joining me on the line is Mariah Thibodeau. Mariah is a healer. She is a student of Mayan culture and Central America. She's got a master's degree in Spanish. And originally, she was attracted there because of the architecture and archaeology, but she became very fascinated with the healing that the Mayans were experts in and just very fascinated with their culture. She's in the process of writing a book on their healing techniques, and we're excited to have her on February the 23rd at the Adams Center at our Sunday gathering. So Mariah, welcome to the preview. Thank you very much for joining us. Share a little bit about what you're going to be talking about on Sunday.
Okay, yes, thank you so much, Bobby. And I will be talking about my journey into Mayan spirituality, how it began. As you mentioned, I was visiting a lot of Mayan archaeological sites. I studied history in my undergraduate and just loved exploring. And while I was down in Guatemala, I did volunteer work, became very fluent in Spanish. And so I was able to really get to know the people. And in my latest trip down there, which was about 2 years ago, and I spent quite a bit of time down there, I got to know some Mayan healers. And I learned a lot about the Mayan calendar as well, which is still being carried on, passed on by people who are called day keepers. And in their language, they say Aik, which means, day keeper or spiritual guide.
And what is the role of a spiritual guide in the Mayan culture?
So again, keeping that knowledge of the calendar alive. They know the Nawals. In the Nawal, there's 20 Nawals in the Mayan calendar. And understanding all of the things that those Nawals represent. So for example, through Mayan astrology, you can find out your day sign, which is the Nawal of the year and the day you were born. And also your galactic tone, which is so there's 20 Nawals and 13 numbers, and the numbers represent the galactic tones. And so by their knowledge of the calendar and everything that's represented there, they can tell a lot about you and what you might need to in your path. So I went through a Mayan ceremony and certain candles were used. So different colors represented different intentions, and things like cacao is offered, anything sweet. So they know what each Nawal likes. And again, it's a personality that through years of research, they found these commonalities that are represented on the day that is represented throughout the Mayan calendar. So each morning they pray to the Nawal of that day, and then they use that knowledge too in other ways, like to guide other people.
Got it. And you're working with a couple of shamans as well, learning some indigenous healing techniques, correct?
Yes, that's right. So I studied with a Mayan partera, which means midwife, and they are trained in not only delivering babies and helping women in their pregnancies and birth, but also just abdominal massage for a variety of people, all ages. And that is a very powerful healing technique as well. And medicinal herbs are used both by the Aik and by the parteras. And so that's a lot of part of my studies as well.
And I know one of the questions that's likely to come up was the whole controversy around 2012 and the end of the Mayan calendar. Are you going to be addressing that at all in the Sunday gathering, or is that too big of a subject to cover in such a short period of time?
Oh, well, I may address it. I was in the States during that time, and interesting, there were a lot of misconceptions, and I just wanted to tell people, go ask a Mayan. They're still around. They're still carrying on the knowledge of the calendar. And it's a very much alive culture. Sometimes you're looking at information and it's written in past tense. It's not. It's still very much alive and carried on and respected. So there's, especially up in the mountains, there's very knowledgeable. I studied with one day keeper who was on Lake Atitlan, and he had studied with a spiritual guide up in the mountains, like an abuelo.
Yeah, we often refer to them as though they're an extinct culture, but they're still alive and well and bringing the knowledge down through the ages, aren't they?
Yes, in fact, I chat quite often on Facebook with my the Ahi that I studied with. So they like communicating and keeping up with things on Facebook as well.
So fully embracing technology.
Yeah,
Well,
so it's good for me because I can keep in touch with my
yeah,
friends.
absolutely. And it makes the world shrink quite a bit. We're able to keep in touch with folks all over the world. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So if I have questions for them, I get on Facebook and I ask them my questions. So I'm continuing to learn from them.
Well, we're very excited to have you coming to Adam next Sunday to introduce us to our culture and introduce us to your journey into that culture. I think it's going to be a very enlightening and enjoyable presentation. And if you would like to join Mariah and dig in deeper into all things Mayan, she will be at the Sunday gathering that begins promptly at 9:30 in the morning, goes to about 10:45 or so. That's located at the Center on Sea, which is 6000 C Street in Anchorage, Alaska, right at the corner of Dowling and C Street. Mariah, we're really looking forward to having you there and can't wait to hear what you have to share with us. Thank you so much for making time today.
Yeah, and thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, great talking to you, and I look forward to
Yeah.
sharing this information with everybody.
See you soon. Bye-bye for now.
Thanks.